Hey guys, it's Blogan here, and in this lesson I'm going to tell you where you will write your code and how you will turn this code into a program. This will be a purely conversational lesson. In it you will learn about such concepts as translator, compiler, linker, and preprocessor. Don't forget the timecodes in case you are interested in a specific topic. Let's start. Imagine a situation where you have to convey some information to a person who doesn't know your language. For example, you know English and your target knows Chinese. The Chinese won't understand you. How to solve this problem? The first thing that may come to mind is to start speaking Chinese, but since you don't know it, you will need to spend a lot of time learning Chinese. At the same time, when you reach the stage of communication, there is a high chance that you will make mistakes. This is of course a solution to the problem, but not the best. The translator is the best. You find a person who knows both languages and you just speak to him in your language and he speaks to the Chinese in his language. An elegant, simple, and quick solution to the problem. Well, in the world of computers, the situation is the same. A computer runs on electricity, so it only understands a sequence of electrical signals. For example, a long signal is one value and a short signal is another. And from a sequence of long and short signals, you can command the computer to do various things. But sitting and giving comments to the computer in this way is a nightmare. Therefore, low-level languages were invented to simplify communication with the computer. They are called that because they are still very similar to computer language. In them, you have to specify which memory address to insert which value, specifying many things you don't need. But programming developed and reached the stage when high-level languages began to be created. They have this name because in them you can express yourself more humanly. In these languages you can find English words, familiar mathematical symbols, and understandable syntax. C++ is considered an intermediate language because it has high-level constructions that allow you to elegantly express your vision in code, and low-level constructions that allow you to directly manage memory. We will get to know them all in due time. So, to translate all these languages into the computer language, you need a translator. In programming, there are two types of translators: compilers and interpreters. It is the compiler that works with the C++ language, so let's analyze its job. But before that, you need to understand something else. C++ code is written in text files, and these text files will have .h and .cpp extensions. First ones are header files, and the others are source files. Therefore, when I show the stage of compilation, you will know what kind of files these are. Let's start. Compiler is a program that translates your programming language to computer instructions. The compilation process has a few stages, and I want to describe each of them. Here is a diagram that shows the complete translation of the code into program. Code compilation has several stages: preprocessing, compilation itself, and linking. Let's start with preprocessing. C++ programs consist of many code files. They may be source files or header files and source files both. Source and header files can have different extensions, but we're not interested in them. So the preprocessor does two things at this stage. It removes any comments you leave in the code and executes the preprocessor directives. Comments are simply tags that explains your code. We will understand what it is in a separate lesson. And preprocessor directives are preprocessor comments. We will also understand them in detail in a separate lesson. The result of preprocessing will be only source files without header files. That is, the preprocessor copies the contents of all .h files into .cpp files. Next, the compiler needs to convert source files into code that the computer can understand. Therefore, at this stage, the code is checked for errors. When you write some text, you can make mistakes, and not only synthetic ones. We will work in a program that will show us many errors at once without starting compilation, which is very convenient. But some errors are still detected only when the compilation is started. So, once the compiler has verified that your source files are free of errors, it starts translating those files into object files that have an .obj extension. These files contain your code only in computer language. But this is not enough because we need one single file that can be run. Therefore, the linking of your object files is started next. At this stage, the linker checks whether you have correctly linked the files together. If so, it then checks to see if you're including files from the C++ standard library. If anything, these are the files that come with the compilers. They contain a huge number of popular and not so popular tools for writing code. We will repeatedly use them and analyze them in detail. If the files were connected successfully, the linker combines them all into one executable file with the .exe extension. And that's it, the program is ready. You can click on this file and your program will run. It all sounds scary, but in today's world, it can all be done in one click. For this, there are special programs called Integrated Development Environments, IDE. There are many of them. We will use the most popular of them, Visual Studio. We will talk about where to find it, how to download and install it in more detail in the next lesson. The main thing is that now you know the process of translating C++ code into a program. In future lessons, I will repeatedly say the words compiler, linker, preprocessor, constantly reminding what they do. And that's the end of this lesson. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, you can support me by liking this video, writing a comment under it, subscribing to the channel, donating using the link in the video description, or becoming a sponsor of my channel. All these things popularize my channel and motivate me to continue recording lessons for you. Goodbye.